So our national security absolutely relies on the strength of our relationships with our allies. We're not going to be able to go this alone. I'm concerned that we're living in a current climate where our president is not welcome in London. That is not a way that we're going to stay safe. We have to continue to build strong relationships with our allies if we are going to address these rising threats that the congressman mentioned, whether that's Russia or China or the fact that the Taliban is stronger than it was, even a few years ago. Our relationships with our allies are the only way that we're going to meet the concerns that are posed to our national security. I'm troubled that our president is not seen as a reliable ally at this point, whether it's in the treaties, the negotiations that we conduct and sign, or in the just day-to-day relationships and negotiations. I'm very worried about the direction he's taking us. Yeah. So there are a number of things that this president campaigned on that I support. Sentencing reform, criminal justice reform. He has said that people who are incarcerated deserve a second chance. I absolutely agree. When we're thinking about paid family leave was something he talked about that his daughter was supposed to be working on for us. We're seeing nothing on that. I mentioned negotiating drug prices for Medicare and Medicaid and negotiating drug prices at the federal level. I support that. I would love to see a Congress that isn't bought and sold by pharmaceuticals and that's ready to go to work for American people.
But on immigration, tax cuts, some of the others, I assume you would not be behind the president on those types.
So that's another place where there's a real disconnect between what the president campaigned on and what this Congress has delivered to him. He talked about tax cuts that would close loopholes, that would hold corporations accountable, that would put more money back into the pockets of everyday working people. That is not what the GOP Congress served up. That is not what we got. And now they're talking about another round of tax cuts. So we're not going to address immigration. We're not going to address infrastructure needs. We're not going to address these really fundamental things that all of us know we need to do, like healthcare, because we've got to do another round of tax cuts. It's completely out of sync with what I hear at the doors of hundreds of Utahns personally, and that my team has heard talking to thousands. So I'm a first-time candidate. This is a wild experience. This is my first debate. I'll tell you, one of the things that surprised me was the level of response from the audience. I was able to attend one of the debates for the primaries, and people were pretty well behaved. So it was interesting to hear, I would say, just the overall level of frustration that the audience expressed with many of the responses that the congressman offered about his record or what he's doing in Washington. And I think if I can do nothing else, I want to encourage voters, I want to encourage people who are considering becoming voters eligible to vote to really look at his record and look at the priorities that he has had on bills he's co-sponsored, on the bills he's sponsored, and ask if they fit the everyday issues at your kitchen table. Is he working for you?
Thank you.
Bye.